Live your life within the moment. And don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. To the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. But get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air getting standing in a blurry green. No one else can see us. Live your life within the moment. And don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
Hey Sadie, did you know that my owner took 2 years to reach 1,000 subscribers? I've been sitting here on 1 million subscribers and I haven't even touched a thing.
Lord, did anyone ever tell you that you just ain't right?
You're watching JJDrones on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Karl Marx. You're watching JJDrones on YouTube.
I'm Karl Marx and I approve this message.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
Live from the Volvo 780 studios in anywhere USA. This is JJDrones Live. And now, here's JJDrones.
And it's JJDrones Live. Welcome to the train wreck. Thank you everybody for coming in today. We have got Off the Hook Outdoors. We've got Living in MN Outdoors. We have got Peterson Farms of Nashville. We've got Stormy Sky Real Productions. We've got Anthony Webb. We've got baby girl Haley Johnson. We have got 906 Quilting Services, Kathy. And we've got, let's see here, my mom, Nancy Naylor. We've got my dad, Dave Johnson. We've got Cheesehead Media. We've got Chris from Shade Tree America. Thank you, everybody, for coming in today. I really appreciate it. If you would like to have one of your videos featured on my website, you can email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com. And for everything JJ Drones related, you can go to JJDrones360.com. And if you would like to help financially support the program, just do it by doing what you do already. Go and do your shopping on Amazon through my Amazon links, JJDrones360.com/Amazon1. And if you would like to get your blinker fluid submissions in, email Dan at droningveteran@gmail.com. And if you would like to order one of Haley's coasters, they're $10 each. Just go to paypal.me/JJDrones and tell me what kind of coaster you would like and give me your address and we will send those out to you. But thank you everybody for coming in today. Appreciate you being here. It is such a good day to be here. It truly is. And every Sunday is a good day to be here, but it's especially great because we do have a special guest today, and we also have our regular co-host to the channel. Let's bring them in right now. First of all, the man, the myth, the legend. His name is Dan, the droning veteran. How's it going, Dan?
Oh, very, very nice. The Pepto-Bismol is
Yeah, you're going to
Coming
need
in
that
handy.
today. Yeah, you're going to need that today. We've got
Especially
G-Money.
after last week.
What's up, G-Money?
And our very special guest, his name is Brian, and he is the purveyor of Cheesehead Media on YouTube. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Hello, Brian. How's it going?
Well, I don't think we can hear you, Brian, because you're muted. Let me unmute you. Oh, I can't unmute you. You have to unmute
There
yourself.
we go. How's that?
There you go.
I wouldn't call me special except when it comes to operating this control board.
Well, we are all special in one way or another, and that's why we are all up here on the panel today. And today we're going to be talking about drones, and the reason that we're going to be talking about drones is why, Brian?
Oh, DJI came out with a little announcement on Tuesday.
No, they did. They did. And Gary says, maybe, maybe not. Okay. Haley says, perfect TOS blur on the bottle. Welcome to the show, Brian. And Pepto-Bismol blinker fluid this week, yes. And Lena says hi to Dan.
Still
And
recovering.
Lane is the star of Dan's newest video that he showed right before this program. So if you missed it, go ahead and go to Dan's channel after the show because he put out a great video today. And G-Money, I woke you up.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep. I called you and I woke you up. I'm answering your question. You didn't put your hand up, but you did ask the question.
I might have been sleepwalking. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's okay. So we're going to be talking about drones, and Ted from Off the Hook says we will be talking about drones because you crashed them, and that is a very good possibility. Johnny Mack, thank you so much for coming in. He says he's up late today because he's off tomorrow. And Johnny Mack is one of our viewers from over there in Scotland. Yes, G-Money.
Is Robert Mack and Johnny Mack any way related? Because I keep getting confused when I see them on the international web.
I do not believe they are related. If they are, I'm sure it would be completely coincidental. Hey, TJ, Giggles, Farts, and Drones, thank you so much for coming in. You came in on a good day, too, because we're going to be talking about drones. But before we get into drones, we have a
I
little...
will be talking about farts today.
And G-Money says he's going to be talking about farts.
I'm sorry.
Smell you later.
And today, Blinker Fluid of the Week award is Pepto-Bismol flavored. Pepto-Bismol flavored, because we have to recover from last week because of the champagne flavored. And so,
I had
we
a little
switched over
too much last week.
Yeah, just a little bit too much, but it's okay. But we're going to hear from our sponsor for this week's Blinker Fluid of the Week awards.
I'm Sadie, the sleeping spaniel, and droning veteran learned everything he knows about fetching videos from me. Just look at this frisbee on the ground. Anyways, I hope you enjoy these videos as I am the official sponsor of Blinker Fluid of the Week.
And it's time for Blinker Fluid of the Week. Hey Dan, your nephew says you may need to cut back a little bit. You're you're drinking a little bit too much of the blinker fluid.
Never.
Mark R. White, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. And so we have got quite a few. We've got 4 videos and a bonus And
a
G-Money.
bonus.
I have a question for Mr. Maybe, maybe not. Does Laney represent like lane change maybe, or what is Laney maybe mean? What is that all about? I really don't comprehend that.
Well, he does change. He does change your lanes a lot, I guess.
Maybe.
Maybe. Possibly.
Bosa Balls, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Okay, so we're going to get into our Blinker Fluid of the Week award videos so that we can get into the drone talk a little bit later on. But we've got, Dan, do you need any intro or any preview before we get into the video?
Oh, no. We'll just let this one play out.
Okay.
And I mean, we can stop it every one if you want. Check her out.
Well, I always step all over you right at the beginning, and you're like, well, don't start it. No, I've got something to say, and I'm sitting here just stepping all over you. And I'm trying not to do that today. I'm trying to be a good host.
Being a good boy.
It happens every once in a while. Number 1.
Ryan, trainee.
Okay, so this one.
Number 1. This one's interesting.
Yes, this one is really interesting. This one is going to this may get somebody to fly off the handle. I don't know who.
So if you notice, there's a little girl in the crosswalk trying to cross a street with a green light. And, when I was in driver's ed, I was told that a pedestrian in a crosswalk had the right-of-way. But, I don't know. I guess it changes.
Well, you see, here's the problem, Dan. You said a person in a crosswalk, right?
Yes.
A person has what? 2 legs, right?
2 legs.
And
now, granted, this was a one-wheel.
Right. But it didn't mention anything about wheels.
That's true. Maybe that's what it is.
That's what it is right there. And she doesn't look like she's older than maybe 10 years old.
Yeah, the teenager. 10
maybe
to 13
a teenager.
Was my guess. 10
Yeah.
to 13.
So, people of Utah, come on. Give me a break. Watch out for those kids, especially, they're going to be getting out of school soon, and they're going to be all over the place. Watch out for those kids. I mean, that's just utterly ridiculous. But that's my 2 cents on that. Number 2. Well, there can't be anything goes wrong here, Dan.
Oh,
everything
no.
is just honky-dory smooth in front of you. I don't see any problems.
No way anything can go wrong with this one.
Unless a meteor comes out of the sky.
Well, don't give it away.
Oh, sorry. Oh, look at that car. Oh.
And,
you see?
I've driven this road many times, and more than one occasion somebody's coming from, because this is an interchange, basically the heartbeat of the Salt Lake Valley, where all the interstates come together. 201, I-80, I-15.
Right. Now, they did use their blinker fluid, though.
They did use their blinker fluid.
They did.
But had a car been coming through on the right side of me, off of I-15 southbound to get 201, it could have been ugly quick.
Yeah, they wouldn't have seen it.
Mm-mm.
So, and then crossing those solid white lines, not a good thing.
Well, those are optional.
Oh, okay, because they're white, right?
Yeah, they're white.
Okay. Number 3. And this is from Brian. Brian, if you would like to do some commentary, you are more than welcome.
Oh, yeah, so I'm just sitting here making a left-hand turn, waiting. And I'm going to give this pickup truck that's on the right here Now he pulled out. He was waiting for it for a while, but here comes one car, two cars. I got a green light, and I'm still waiting for this guy. Like, really? I mean, you're well behind the stop line, and you still need to make the left-hand turn. I mean,
do I need to remind Brian of a couple weeks ago? The record is 5 cars. 5 cars.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, if you're going to give us a video like that, you really have to keep up with Dan, because Dan has the record of 5 cars after the red. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was a good one. That was a good one, Brian. In fact, we're going to watch it again.
1,
Green.
2.
Yep, we got 3.
And I think he started to stop, too. I just noticed that, too. He's making that left.
It looked like it, yeah.
Oh, hey, you got 2 of them for me today.
Yeah, you got this other one here.
Yeah, watch the black SUV here that's in front of me. Now, he had miles to make this left. Hey, we're just going to get into the left lane here. You know?
He was
playing second left.
Yeah.
You know what? He was playing Candy Crush as he was driving down the road. You can't play Candy Crush and make your turn at the same time. I'm sorry. And this is a bonus.
Good old bonus round.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, it gets better. There. Yeah, buddy.
These are great. These are great. Absolutely great. Congratulations, Dan, you and Brian. You guys outdid yourself again, because those were extremely entertaining. And now what we're going to do, and and then Ryan has joined the program today. Ryan, thank you so much for coming in. And he said moist. Everybody can be triggered now.
Inside joke.
Yes. Ted says, I think G Money should ring a cowbell when he has a question. We need more cowbell. Anybody get that reference?
I have no cowbell, but I will try and, pull on the udders.
That was good. All right, so I am going to go ahead and, Dan, how are we going to score this now? Are you going to keep track of the bonus, or is that bonus just a bonus?
I mean, we can put the bonus in as just a hashtag bonus, I guess.
Okay, so if you
want
to
to go
vote,
grab my pen because I forgot it again.
Oh, Dan, not showing up on time to work with the right equipment.
Oh, Lord.
I know. Does he show up for work? Yes. Maybe, maybe not. Right?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Will I have everything? Possibly.
All right, so let me go over here, and I'm going to go to my channel, and then I've got to go to the live stream because I am completely unprepared, but I do not have the audio playing, so I can add. And then we're going to start the poll for Blinker Fluid of the Week Awards. And Mr. G Money, I know that I am very entertaining for you today.
Very. Looks like it.
All right, so we've got options 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's up there in the chat right now. Vote for your favorite. And if you would like to vote for the last one, like my dad just voted number 5, if you want to vote for the last one, hit hashtag bonus in the chat. And Dan is going to monitor that. And we're going to see who wins at the end of the program. And Paul says, look like it's very crowded here. My tin seems to be having technical difficulties. I'm going to miss you guys tonight. Well, I'm sorry that you're not going to be able to make it, Paul. Hopefully you can make it next week. And I appreciate you checking in with us today. Now, I
know. We're going to miss you, buddy.
Now, we're going to give Dan a second.
My eyes have a break, but...
Right. Yeah, and I did have something set up for Paul that I did get from G Money earlier today. Maybe we should play that while Dan gets his paper. What do you think, G Money?
I'll be right back.
And this is just going to be, you know, a salute to Paul because he's always coming in the show and giving us some good content. And so because of that and that alone, we're going to do a tribute to Paul because he's not able to make it onto the show today. And I just have to make sure that I have the right screen here. And there it is. Boom. And here is our salute to Paul.
Mr. Clean, Procter & Gamble's new all-purpose liquid cleaner. Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime.
I mean, you gotta say that it's uncanny how well that he fits into this commercial.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime.
I mean, it's very, very bright and shiny.
Quicker than a wink. Can he clean a window sash? Faster than a flash. Can he clean a dirty mirror? He'll make it bright and clearer. Can he clean a diamond ring? Mr. Clean cleans anything. Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your
I don't think I've ever seen Paul smile so much in one sitting.
Mr. Clean.
That was great. Thank you for sharing that with us, Gary, because yes, G Money, how can I answer your question?
I'm not like a Scientologist or anything like that, or like a bacteriologist or a dermatologist or anything. But did you notice where the baby was like face down and he used about to wipe Mr. Clean all over the buttocks?
Well,
Not
you know,
buttocks,
sometimes.
but the buttocks. I did notice that, and that seemed a little disturbing to me.
Well, Mr. Polnowski seems to remember watching that when he was young. So. It was nice that Paul was actually, I mean, Paul is ageless, right? He doesn't age. He's just always. Oh. Yes, Paul is ageless. Yes, G Money.
I would like to issue a challenge. I wanted to present this prior, but I think I was sleeping, and prior to you waking me up.
Yes.
For this prestigious event. But my challenge for Mr. Clean next week is, and this is a true challenge. This is not like comical or anything, but I want to witness him. I think we all want to witness him shave his head on, your show next week.
Oh, well, there we go.
Whether it be after dark or, prior to dark or whatever you want to label that as. But I think we need to see him, maybe put some of that Mr. Clean on his head and then shave it, whatever he does,
Well, the challenge is out there for you, Paul. If you want to shave your head on air, we're going to go ahead and let you do that. But, I mean, it's a challenge. You've been called out, brother. You've been called out. And, so we've got to, respond. So if you respond in the chat, let me know. And we'll go ahead and get that figured out. Lane wants to know when do I get my hoodie? And that hoodie is going to be there very soon. I just checked on that the other day, and it was already shipped. So it should be there probably this week, hopefully.
Oh, hopefully Monday, because we didn't get it Saturday. I was bummed.
Right. So, Brian, what was DJI's announcement this week?
Well, the big announcement was the Mavic 3.
Wait, Brian. You can't announce it yet because you don't have your pumpkin pencil.
I don't need a Schneider pencil.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah.
So
Nope.
so
Go ahead, Dan or Jason. I'm sorry.
and Paul already replied, G Money, and Paul says, you asked for it. I have an idea. By the way, thanks for the keychains. You're welcome. And TJ says, hey, Jason, I got my string back through the hoodie. Good to hear. I'm glad. So now, what was the announcement that DJI made on Tuesday?
Well, the big announcement was the Mavic 3 Pro. So the original Mavic 3 was a 2-camera gimbal, and they've now added a third camera to it. So it's roughly a 24 millimeter lens, a 70 millimeter lens, 35 millimeter equivalent, and the original 166 millimeters. So it gives you really 3 cameras in one.
Yes, and I'm showing it. I'm showing it to the audience on the screen right now. So, if you're kind of confused at what you're looking at, this is the camera that comes on the Mavic 3 Pro, and well, it's 3 cameras, right? It's the half-inch CMOS telecamera on the upper left-hand corner, and then you have the 1.13-inch CMOS sensor or camera on the right-hand side, and then you have the 4/3 sensor camera on the very bottom. Now, the 4/3 sensor is a 20 megapixel camera. It has a range from 2.8 up to f11. But now, when you're getting into the zoom lenses, you're restricted at the 3.4, and you're on the half inch, and at the 1/1 1/3, you're stuck at the 2.8. So you're gonna have to have the right lighting in order to use those cameras with your drone, because you're gonna have no way of actually adjusting for the lighting other than what you have. Now, the half-inch has a 12 megapixel camera, and you can do 4K 60 on that one. And the one and over a 1 1/3, that one's got a 48 megapixel camera, and you can do 4K 60 on that. And that one allows you to do D-Log. So does that pretty much cover the cameras?
Correct.
Okay. And
Could
so
you repeat that?
I could, but I'd rather you go back and watch the program. If you're not paying attention, Dan, you know what? I bet you Gary can go back and recite everything that I just said backwards.
It's a lot to take in.
Can I share a message to the viewers about how much I've learned about droning through my mentor, JJDrones, JJDrones, whatever you might call him?
Maybe you can.
JJDrones is my mentor. There you go.
It flies like a rocket, and it's very much more economical. And
you're probably right.
I don't get to film all those crashes because I have no camera on that.
That's probably true. And it's recyclable. That's the word we're going for.
Outstanding point. Can we do something to bring Brian out of his shell?
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring Brian out of his
shell. What do you need? What do you need here, G Money?
All right, dude, we got a sub coming to you in the future. Just chill out. Just be grateful to be part of this party.
I am. Who says I'm not grateful?
You look like Dan maybe before he was a maybe.
He just needs more blinker fluid.
He does. He needs more blinker fluid. He needs a little bit more. Yes. So now with the Mavic 3, I talked to Brian and I talked to Dan about this earlier this week, and I said, you know what? DJI is coming out with this Mavic 3 Pro. What's the big deal and expletive in the middle of that? and I said, basically the Mavic 3 Pro and the Mavic 3 Classic and the Mavic 3 whatever, Cine, or the Mavic 3 just period, they're all the same platform, okay? The only difference between the 3 drones is that the Mavic 3 and the Mavic 3 Cine have the 2 cameras. The Mavic 3 Classic has the 1 camera, and then the Mavic 3 Pro has the 3 cameras, but they all share the Hasselblad camera, which is the main platform camera on all 3 drones. If you're going to use the Mavic 3 Classic, it's going to be the cheapest option for you, but you're going to get all the functionality of all the other 3 drones at a cheaper price point, and you can still get amazing video quality. Brian and Dan changed my mind.
Well, at least for my opinion, when it comes down to background compression, that's where the zoom lenses come in really, really handy. You can have right now the problem is that on that the Hasselblad camera is beautiful, but it's just so wide. And if you're flying along, say at 80, 90, 100 feet, and you want to zoom down on something, right now the only way to do that is to crop your photo.
Right.
So if you're losing then a lot of quality of the image, so if you go to one of it's granted it's a smaller sensor, but you can automatically zoom in, get a little bit of the background compression, and get a second photo without flying down into what it is you're trying to film.
Okay, let me stop you right there.
Sure.
Let me stop you right there, because now we're talking. What you're talking about is like photography, right? And what I'm talking about is more the video side of it, because
video
with the
does
video
the same thing.
Oh, I know, but hear me out on the video side.
Okay.
When you're flying your drone, and I am the perfect example to say this, is that you've already running into the risk of crashing your drone into something, because the obstacle avoidance isn't 100% infallible, right? So you're going to take that and you're going to put yourself into a position to where you're going to be using those zoom lenses while you're flying, and you're putting yourself at a bigger risk to actually hitting into something. Isn't that correct?
That is correct, Jason.
Well, or you can think of it just the opposite. You can put yourself into a safer position, either by altitude or distance, and then using the zoom lenses to get closer to your subject. So in a way, you can use that as a safety feature.
Yeah, you're right on that. I had to give you the round of applause because, you are making some valid points. Dan, do you want to make any points?
I just want all 3 of them.
So,
don't we all?
So G Money.
I have a serious question. I sent Mr. Jason Johnson a video of another individual who had like 7 million subscribers that was filming something in another country or whatever. But like that's kind of like literally foreign to me and everything. But the one thing he did mention, I forget which one he had it. Was it the DJI 3 where it could go from horizontal to vertical?
That's the Mini 3 Pro.
Okay, so is that part of this conversation? I really don't know what we're talking about. It's all Greek to me.
Right. No, this is just the Mavic 3, the Mavic Mini 3 Pro, or just the Mini 3 Pro. That's a completely different drone.
Do these other ones have the ability to go vertical as well, or not?
They do not. No. The only one that does do that is the Mavic 3, or the Mini 3 Pro. And I keep saying Mavic because I'm just used to saying Mavic before everything. But with the Mavic 3 Pro now, you actually get a 7x zoom, and you get a 3x zoom on the camera, because like I showed everybody in the audience a little bit earlier, is it's got those 3 cameras on it. Now, you are going to not have the ability to do any of the major or any of the intelligent functions on any of those zoom lenses, other than you can use point of interest, and you can do active tracking on the 3X, but I don't think you can on the 7X. And you can't do active, or you can't use the zoom lenses on waypoints unless you do it manually throughout a waypoints mission. Were you aware of that, Brian?
That one I wasn't aware of. I knew the 7X, you couldn't do anything special because the previous version, the regular Mavic 3 that's now discontinued, you couldn't do waypoints or anything with it either. So it was,
right.
Or with that lens. And I'll confuse G Money here even a little bit more. The the Mini 3 Pro that he's talking about, that sensor is actually what the new sensor is on the Mavic 3 Pro. That's 70 millimeter lens. It's the same sensor. So
I need the cricket sound effect. I really do. Let's see here.
I'm totally confused now. I was doing pretty well until Cheesehead started trying to talk about Aaron Rodgers and the mini thing.
We're talking about drones, not jets.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. But you still get a round of applause for that. Mark R. White says they've discontinued the original Mavic 3 with the 2 cameras indifferent to the Mavic 3 Pro. So, according to Mark R. White, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm going based on what he's saying. So take it and run with it and figure it out for yourself. That
that
the
actually
Mavic
is
3. Oh, is it? Okay, so the Mavic 3 is discontinued. Actually, it has the 1 times telephoto, 3 times telephoto, and a 7 times telephoto with zoom capabilities. And from 1 to 3, then 3 to 7, then 7 to 28. Yes, you are absolutely correct, Mark. And I do have a screenshot over everything that these guys have. And that is, if you want to take a look and maybe screenshot all those specs of the cameras on the Mavic 3 Pro, you are more than welcome to do so. So go ahead and hit pause and then screenshot that, and that'll give you all the information that you need on all the camera options. Now,
I'll do it live.
Let's go into price. Brian.
Well, that's actually the beauty of this new Mavic 3 Pro. You look at it, it's $100 more than the one that it replaced, but it comes now with the DJI RC, which is the controller with a screen built in. And
right,
the
but
previous.
Well, hold on. Okay. I'm not going to let you get to go too far down the road now.
Okay.
Because yes, the Mavic 3 Pro is only $100 more than its predecessor, according to you, right? Okay, so $21.99 with the DJI RC is what they're charging for it. But now nobody's buying just the DJI Pro and the RC. They're not doing it. They're going to buy the Flymore kit, because if you don't, you're going to be paying over $200 per battery. So you're going to go and you're going to pay the $3,000 Flymore kit. Are you not?
There is a hack for this.
Okay.
So the first thing is that if you go back to DJI's website and you look at your Mavic 3 Classic, they sell the Flymore kit by itself.
Yes.
And I believe it's $649.
Yes.
And that is the same Flymore kit that they are including for $800 on the screen you just showed. So if you buy just the Mavic 3 Pro, and then you go over through the checkout process and order just the Flymore kit, you're going to save yourself, what was it, $250?
Okay.
If my math is correct.
Well, I'm sold.
Of course you are.
I mean, it's still expensive.
Betty's like,
oh.
What happened?
It's still expensive.
Somebody dropped something.
But the other thing, too, is that even though it's $100 more than the previous Mavic 3, the controller that's included was $150 more. So basically, you're getting the RC controller for $50 less, plus you're getting the 2 additional cameras instead of just the 1 additional camera, according to it, against its predecessor. So
Okay,
it's a cheaper drone in a way.
Okay, so I'm going to debunk what you're saying now.
Okay.
Because I'm going to share the screen here from DJI official website for the DJI Classic. What's the price of the drone with the RC? Can you see that?
No, I don't see the RC. I just see the N1.
Okay, it says DJI RC N1 $15.99.
Okay.
If you want the DJI Classic with the DJI RC, it's only $17.49. And then if you want to just buy the drone only, it's $14.69. So you've got 3 options there. And then if you add the Flymore kit into the combo, let's just say you get the Flymore kit, like you said, $649, and you add that to let's just say the cheapest one there, which is $15.99. So basically you're getting $2,300 for everything, all in included, $2,300, right?
I wouldn't use that as a comparison. I would say it'd be the DJI RC because now that I have the DJI RC and with that built-in screen, I'm never going to go back to a controller that I have to plug my phone into.
Oh, I agree with you on that, brother.
And that's actually the one disappointment I have with this Mavic 3 Pro is that they've been releasing all their drones, including the Mavic 3 Classic, as a drone only because you already have the controller.
Right.
And I already have a DJI RC. I don't need another one. So I
Right.
really wish that they would have offered that as an option.
Okay. So let's see here. Mark R. White says it's not the same Flymore kit. You get the ND filters with them. Hey, Dave, welcome into the program. Appreciate you being here. And he's right. Mark is right. You won't get the ND filters that DJI supplies for the Mavic 3 Classic. Now, are you going to go out there and are you going to spend the money for freewheel filters when they come out for the Mavic 3 Pro? Because, I mean, look at that camera. It's going to be expensive as heck to get ND filters for those things.
I go through a company called Polar Pro. I've been ordering their filters from on my original Mavic. They've been on all my GoPros. That's what I have on my Mavic 3 Pro. So I don't know the quality of the DJI filters. I've just been very happy with what I've been getting from Polar Pro. So for me that's not an option. But I did notice with this last round from Polar Pro that there is a little bit of vignetting on the edges, and I have not experienced that before. So maybe the DJI filters would be a better bet.
Right now you're looking at $179 for a set of 4 right now.
Okay.
So you're talking maybe triple what you spend on, the Mavic 3 Classic for the ND filters.
Very true. Very true.
So the other thing that I was going to bring up, as far as like the costs are associated with, or not even the cost of it, the weight of it. This drone weighs about 985 grams. It's a heavy drone.
How much does your Mavic 3 Classic weigh? Only 800 something?
Yes, G Money.
Yeah, if I was a drug dealer, I might understand grams, but I don't understand grams. So can you correlate it into poundage or something like that?
Okay, so the Mavic 3 Classic and the original Mavic 3 was 895 grams. And then we do 895.
53.
So that's 1.971 pounds. And then you've got the Mavic 3 Pro is 958 grams. And we're going to put that to pounds.
And you only have 43 minutes of flight time with the Mavic 3 Pro.
Right? Only.
Versus a 46, and that's optimal. I mean, I think it's about, everyone says it's the same thing. It's about 30 minutes of flight time.
Yeah, I'd say I would guess 30 to 35 tops.
And that's what, the other one, the Mavic 3 Pro is 2.112 pounds, just for reference. Now, I was watching a video with Russ from 51
Drones.
Yes, and he basically explained that he went out there and flew that drone in perfect weather conditions and got right around 35 minutes. And then he went out in windy conditions and got like between 28 and 30 minutes. So, you're never going to get the advertised flight time from a drone.
Well, it is North Dakota winds there.
Yes, that is true.
If it would, had it been Wyoming winds, he would have been going good to get 10 minutes.
Right. Johnny Mac, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here late night over there in Scotland. Robert Mac Media, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. And I hope that your knee is feeling good. Mark R. White says, but the Mavic 3 Pro has 3 cameras, therefore real 3 separate filters on the one fitting, and to make it so they are equal within the different values for each camera. Each one has a different density. And I agree with you, Mark. I'm not saying that that they don't need to be doing that, because they do. I'm just trying to say, from a budget standpoint, are you willing to fork out the money for a drone that basically the only difference between the Classic and the Pro is the 2 extra cameras on there? Are you willing to fork out the extra $500 to $1,000? That's the question.
I
am.
Okay.
And it comes down to the fact that for me, my regular photography is almost always between that 50 and 100 millimeter mark. So having a 70 millimeter camera is perfect. So it again, it depends upon what kind of creative you are. From where you are, Dan, I don't know if I would, because I love the wild, the mountains and stuff of Utah. I mean, it's just beautiful out there. I'd want to get all that I want. Here, in the Midwest, where, I kind of want that zoom lens. So if I'm flying something, I can shoot between trees and stuff, be high away and out of the trees, but be able to take a photo down between a row of them or something, or video.
Well, I think the ability for Dan to take amazing videos is there with the Mavic 3 Pro. I'm not disagreeing, but what I am saying is just the amount of money that you're going to be spending on that drone. If you're on a budget, you're already not going to be buying DJI drones. But if you're trying to budget yourself for a drone for your channel, are you willing to spend that extra money knowing that you can get all of the same capabilities from the Mavic 3 Classic? And in my opinion, and I'm always right because this is my show and you're all wrong. So
that's true. A question, because I didn't get a chance to look this up, because we was talking about it earlier. Now, I don't know if it does or not, but does the Mavic 3 Pro have night mode?
It does.
The Mavic 3 Pro does have night mode.
Yes. It not only does it have night mode, but it has a dedicated slow-mo mode. So you can actually go and use the slow motion. Now, that's only available on the Hasselblad cameras. Now, the other thing you're not going to get with the 2 zoom lenses is the max you're going to get out of there is a 4K 60. You're not going to get anything better than that. You're going to get 4K 60 or you're going to get 1080p.
Well, I do 1080p anyway, so I'm good.
Oh, do you? Well, there you go.
And if you're budgeting, I'd say look at the Mini 3 Pro is an amazing little drone for what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, same thing with the Air 2S. So they're both great platforms. So I mean, if budget really is an issue, I'd look at those 2 drones before I even look at the Mavic series.
Well, and
to be honest with you.
people have actually come to me and asked over the past few weeks. In fact, I'll give you an example. Henry Ryan Fishing up there in Canada, he came to me and asking me for advice for a drone, and I said, you know what, the best drone for your money right now is the Mavic 3 Pro. Just do it, get it, and be done with it, because you're gonna fly that thing and you're gonna enjoy it, and it's gonna get you some great footage. And you know what, he got it. He's happier than you know what. I almost said it, so just
fly on what?
I can say it for you if you want.
You know what, G Money, I don't have the bleep button, but go ahead and say it.
Pig in poop.
There you go. Thank you. So the Mavic 3 here's where we're gonna end it. I'm gonna just wrap it up in a pretty bow right here. If you are serious about photography, if you are trying to go out there and you are just 100% just laser focused on taking still photos, I think that the Mavic 3 Classic or the Mavic 3 Pro is the drone that you want to go for. If you are going to be going out there and you're going to be shooting videos, if you are very confident in your flying capabilities, go ahead and get the Mavic 3 Pro. But if you're getting into videos and you're getting into photography and you just want a drone, you want a Mavic 3, but you don't know whether you're going to choose the Pro or the Classic, go with the Classic. Because I'll tell you right now, you're not going to be disappointed with either one of the drones, but you're going to save yourself some money. G Money.
All right, serious question. I'm probably going to look like a full village idiot, in this dialogue here. I was watching a video recently. I don't think I shared this to Jason, but maybe I did. I don't remember. But there was some pilots of a jet aircraft. They reported an emergency, that they felt a loud thump or something like that, and they said they have no idea what it was. They were concerned that it could have been a drone at 8,000 feet. Can your average drone fly that high?
Not one of ours. Not one of ours. I think the maximum of a DJI drone is maybe 1,000 or 1,600 feet, something like that.
Are there types of drones? I thought, didn't you once tell me that the maximum you're allowed to fly is like 400 feet or something? Or?
Yes, but you are allowed for another additional 400 feet over objects or structures, depending on the situation, and you're allowed 400 feet in any direction around that. Now, there aren't going to be too many times where you're going to be up to around 1,600 feet, and I think that's where DJI put the limit on the drones. But to get up to 8,000 feet, you're not going to have a drone. I mean, one of the safest hobbies you can do out there is drone piloting, and I don't know how many times that Ryan Lanterette has to come on to Ken Heron's show and be like, out of this entire hobby, not once has anybody been harmed or killed by a drone. So that is just that's a fact, and that is coming from an attorney, and he wouldn't put that out there on the air if it wasn't a fact. Let's see here. Ted asked Jason,
if you do want to fly above the 8,000 feet, you can come to Utah. We have plenty of places to fly above 8,000 feet.
Oh, yeah, you do. Ted, yes, you do need a license to put a drone video on YouTube. Absolutely, 100%. We're getting almost to the end of the program, and I did want to mention one more thing, and Brian brought it up to my attention. And Brian, I'm going to let you talk about it because you are the man that brought it up to me. This is the update for the Mavic 3 series. And Brian, what does the update do for us?
It allows you to fly FPV mode with your Mavic or Mini 3.
Yes, and what are some of the pros and cons in your mind?
I think if the one pro is that if you wanted to fly FPV and you didn't want to spend the money on a Nevada, all you would have to purchase are the goggles and the motion controller. The downfall, though, is that you're going to crash. It's a lot of money for that mode, and you don't use a regular controller yet, and that's probably the worst part about it. is that you have to use that goofy motion controller, and I don't know anyone that flies FPV that uses that. So, okay, you do.
I didn't start using the regular controller until the last time that I was home, and I hit a bench. And what else did I hit? I don't remember. I know I hit two things. No. This was different. So for me, some of the benefits is you can actually use the goggles with the motion controller, and you get the obstacle avoidance of the drone, right? Because with the goggles and the Mavic 3 Classic, you can actually use the obstacle avoidance. You don't have obstacle avoidance on the Avata. But I haven't tested that, and I don't feel like I'm going to test that because I'm not that brave. But I don't like, I guess it all depends on who you talk to. I didn't really like the fact that I was flying around with the motion controller, and usually with the Mavic 3, I'm going out there and I'm trying to get cinematic videos, and I'm trying to get good videos that I want to put to music and, set a mood. It's not something that I'm trying to do for like a DJI or like the Avata, where you're ripping around and you're going through things and stuff like that. That's not something you're going to be able to do with your Mavic 3, right? So I think that is something that is gimmicky, and I believe, and DJI, hear me now, and if you ever listen to any show that I've ever done, I ask you, please, please, please let us use the regular remotes with the goggles. That's all we want. Brian agrees.
I agree.
Oh, 100%.
Dan agrees.
I do.
And Ted says, are you sure about that? I see a lot of drone footage on YouTube, and I don't think they all have licenses. And you know what? They're rolling the dice.
But I see a lot of people on the road driving vehicles, too, and they don't look like they have licenses.
Well,
that's probably accurate.
It depends upon whether or not you're monetizing on YouTube. If you're not monetizing...
No, that's incorrect, Brian.
Oh, really? Okay, then that's strange.
According to, and if you watch enough of, because I did my research before I got licensed, and it's all about intent. And the intent is in furtherance of a business. If you put your videos up on YouTube, you're furthering the business of YouTube. If you put it up on Facebook, you're furthering the business of Facebook, so on and so forth. So anytime that you are putting your video up on social media, you're furthering the business of that social media platform. And they can come after you for that.
Okay.
And
well, thank you. I appreciate the information.
I think that YouTube, and this is a good point brought up by Glenn, YouTube doesn't care. FAA does, just if they catch you. And I think that YouTube should care, and I think the FAA should find not only the pilot, but YouTube, until YouTube puts up a thing that says, hey, you have a drone video. If you check yes, then you go on to the next box that says, what's your drone license number? Put your drone license number in there, boom, done. It's always in there until it expires, because you can just put in there just like you would your driver's license. You put in your drone license number, you put the expiration date, and then every time you put up a drone video, you're covered.
I don't know though. If they did that, then we'd be able to. The shippers, if they overload us, would get a ticket too. But
Dan, don't even get me started with that, because I agree with you on that. Yes, G-Money.
All right, serious question. If you did what if they did what you were talking about with the YouTube, and you put your drone license number in there, does that divulge your personal information, like your residence or anything like that? Because
it won't give you. No, it won't give you residence, and as it is right now, Gary, I'll tell you right now, if you want to go on and you want to look up my information, my drone license information, you can go onto a website and you can see all of my information right there. And with remote ID coming out September 16th, everybody's going to have to be flying with remote ID. You're going people are going to be able to see not only your drone license number, they're going to be able to see where you're flying, where you launched from, what drone you're flying, how high it is, how fast it's flying. All that information is going to be out there for the general public.
But the question is it going to show the residence of the owner of the license?
No, it will not.
Okay.
Let's see here. Mark R. White, there's no such thing as drone license, only registration number. And we're talking about the Part 107 license in the U.S. here, Mark. That's what we're talking about. The Part 107 UAV operator permit or license. And you have to have a license in the U.S. in order to fly and make money or further the business of somebody else. Glenn says your channel is technically a business once you've monetized and following laws on creators. And the state of Arkansas disagrees with the thought there is no license. And at that point, it's really not, it's a federal thing. It's not a state thing. And Chris, you know what? It is government overreach, but we all have to live by it. And trust me, none of us in the droning community are happy about remote ID. That is another topic for another day. And I think probably the end of July.
There's not enough blinker fluid.
No, there's not. I think the end of July, Brian, you're going to have to tell me what your schedule is in July, and Dan, and we're going to do a whole show on remote ID.
For sure.
Yes, Gary.
Just for you and Brian and the other peeps out there, my birthday's July 29th, if you want to do it on that particular evening.
Oh, well, if that's a Sunday, we're definitely going to be having a special episode just for G Money.
A birthday special.
Lane says, Uncle Dan, stop the blinker fluid. You have a problem.
What?
And the first step, Dan, is to admit that you have a problem. We have hit the hour mark, and I got so carried away that I completely spaced the fact that we were there. So let me get to our results from our blinker fluid of the week poll.
Before you tool that.
Yep.
I have found 3 for the hashtag bonus or number 5.
Okay.
That I, unless I missed any, but I've got 5 or 3 for number 5. So then when you pull up we'll know.
So we have got 17 total votes on 1, 2, 3, or 4. 41% of 17 is what?
I don't math.
17 times 0.41. 17 times 0.41. That's 7. So 7 for number 1. Number 2 got 24%. Number 3 got 18%. Number 4 got 18%. So it looks like number 1 is the winner.
Number 1 is the winner, huh?
Number 1. And I'm not surprised on that. Let's see. Mark R. White says, as Bubba J says, no, I don't have a drinking problem. I've pretty much just got it started. So number 1 is our winner. It's not a huge shocker, but we got to do our daily routine, or our weekly routine. Congratulations, number 1. You are our Blinker Fluid of the Week award winner of the Pepto-Bismol flavor. And Dan, make sure you keep that around, because when we do Gary's show for his birthday, I mean, the next week we're gonna need like extra strength Pepto-Bismol. I'm telling you right now.
I want the fluorescent flavor for that episode, please.
Only if it's green. It's got to be green.
It's got to be green. That's right. So, Dan, Brian, G Money, thank you all for being on the program. I appreciate you being here. You all have the link for JJ Drones After Dark. And if you are not going to watch JJ Drones After Dark on my website, you are missing a whole lot. And Dan, give me one word to describe JJ Drones After Dark.
Exciting.
G Money, one word.
Dark.
Brian, one word.
Entertaining.
There you go. So go ahead and check out JJ Drones After Dark. I usually post that before I go to bed every night.
And entertaining.
There you go. It's exciting. It's dark. It's entertaining, and it's all four of us just having a good time, having a conversation with one another. Gentlemen, I appreciate you being here. Thank you all for coming along for this ride with all of us, and we'll see you all later on down the road. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.